I wanted to come here today and talk about what you can do when you're super ready to quit your day job, but you can't. Basically, for those of you who don't know me, I've had a career in human resources for over 10 years, and then I had what most of you would call an awakening, and I kind of then merged things like manifestation, energy healing, that kind of work into what I knew from the business side of things. So basically, in my HR role, a lot of people would come to me and either be mad at their boss or just not liking their job, ready to quit. And then the opposite would also happen where the boss would come to me unhappy with the employee, ready to get rid of them, that kind of thing. So my role a lot of the times was to be kind of the middle person and to figure out, what the problem was. Is the person really not doing their job, or do they understand their job? And then also, is the manager communicating what they need to get done? And then basically figure out a solution based on that. So I had quite a lot of experience with this situation where people would come in and they're just like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to quit. I need to get out of here. And I personally have also been in that situation where I wanted to leave. So I came up with several posts that are on my website that will help you with this, so that when you're in the situation that you're coming into work and you feel like you just can't stand another day, but yet financially you're not ready to go. Maybe you're working on your next big thing, an awakened career. Maybe you're going to be an entrepreneur, or maybe you're just really looking to take a really big step up. So you don't want to go from one crappy job to one crappy job. You want to go from a situation that's pretty good into a situation that's maybe awesome, or even better. So there are 4 posts that can really help you with this, and I'm going to put it in a link at the bottom so that you can get to it in the comments, that is. And the first one is how to high vibe up your workspace. So a lot of times people think of crystals as something that's woo-woo or new agey, but really there's a lot of science behind them, and having them in your space can really help absorb negative energy and also lift and put a positive energy. So I don't think they're to be overlooked. And you can also use things like essential oils. Um, Behind me, this way, you'll see a Himalayan salt lamp that is supposed to absorb energy and just kind of purify it. And you'll find that in that post, High Vibe Up Your Workspace, you can see a lot of tips just to make the place you sit, whether it's a cubicle or an office or a home office, just to make it feel positive and like your energy. And in addition to that, there's how to manage your energy like a boss in the workplace. That one's great for when you come into work. You want to make sure you come in with a really good, strong, energetic boundary, so that if someone else next to you maybe hates their job, you're not picking up that feeling. It's kind of like that book, Messages in Water, where they did a scientific study where they put like negative words behind water, and they would find the images with the negative words were the molecules were dark and kind of Rorschach-like, and then with the water with positive words like love and happiness, it was a much brighter outlook. So it's kind of the same concept in your workspace. You want to have it be really high vibe, and then you want to make sure if someone else is negative and feeling that way, that you don't take it on. So those two, high vibe up your workspace and how to manage your energy like a boss. And then there's also a post called What to Do When You Hate Your Job that no one else will tell you. And basically, that post is really designed to help you shift the energy so that you can bring in a new job and just really start to move forward. So maybe you're not ready to leave for 6 months. Maybe you're not ready to leave for a year. Maybe you're trying to save up to start your own business. It really helps you be able to start making those steps toward that and taking that shift now, so that by the time you are ready to go, you leave a good network, friends, people that will recommend you. You really don't want to try to leave your job and burn your bridges and have no communication with your bosses, or have them feel like, oh my God, thank God that person is out of here. I mean, best case scenario, You make it work in such a positive way that you thrive, and when you go, they are happy to recommend you, maybe even promote your new project. Because people tend to think the world is small. I mean, the world is big, I mean, the opposite. And really, what you'll find as your career as you go is it's actually a really small chain of events. I don't know why, but you'll run into the same people even if you're at other companies. So it's really great to make sure that you leave in really good standing. And it's fine to say this just isn't the job for me, but they'll respect that you did a good job while you were there and that you're moving on to something else. So you can high vibe up your workspace, come in the mindset that nothing is going to get in your energetic boundary with manager energy like a boss. And then you're going to shift it with what to do when you hate your job that no one else will tell you. And the last thing, though, I want you to think about is it may feel like it's taking a long time for you to leave your job. And sometimes there is a universal design to have these roadblocks so that you don't move too quickly. As you step into an awakened career or you go through an awakening, there's really a lot of layers to peel back. And if you did it all at once, it would really feel overwhelming. So I personally believe the universe puts in these kind of stalling tactics so that you can learn to manage the energy and really kind of step into what you're going to step into, have your voice behind it, feel really confident in it. So it's not so overwhelming. A lot of times the energy of it can really throw you for a loop. So having those little roadblocks, those speed bumps, are really the universe's way of helping you have a pace so that you don't burn out, so that you could do this in the long run. It's a marathon, not a sprint, all those expressions, but it's true. And then the last thing is if you truly, truly have to get out, there's just no way you can stay. There I have a post called How to Manifest Your Dream Job versus Take the Job That You Can Get. So that means you don't want to jump from the pan into the fire. You really want to take time to think about, okay, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to leave, but what do I want to do? So you want to co-create your next job with the universe rather than just pick and choose from what you think you can get. Because even though you want to leave and you're not happy, maybe you still want to leave for something better. I actually was in a position once where I did feel that way and I just felt like, oh my gosh, I have to get out. But then I decided, I put like 4 years into this job. I've worked really hard. I don't want to leave for just anything. So even though I wasn't happy and I felt like I had to get out like within the next couple of weeks, I still sat down and I figured out what I wanted, what did I want to make, and made a list and really got clear. And I ended up leaving for a job that was much better and has launched my career forward. And it ended up being a really good thing. So even though I was ready to go, and I still was out, I think within like 2.5 weeks, maybe 3, because I was really committed to leaving. But it doesn't mean you have to take something less than you think you deserve. You always want to leave for something better, especially since that's the best time to negotiate your pay and maybe get what you think you should be earning if you feel like you aren't earning it. So the last thing I want to tell you, you have all those tips to be able to stay in your job. You'll be able to read those. They're quick reads and they'll be included in the comments. But the one thing you could do right off the bat is just try to shift your gratitude for the job that you have. Really see it as something that you feel secure with, that you could look at it that, okay, this is providing me the money to maybe hire someone to do your resume professionally. This is giving me the money to have my rent while I look for the job. This is providing the money I need to be able to travel so I feel inspired for my next job. Whatever it is that the money from your career is providing for you, really focus in on that and then have that gratitude so that you can start aligning with that kind of joy. And like I said, you want to leave for a job where you've aligned with a good energy, especially if you're in a situation where it's really negative. So one thing you can say that I really like as an affirmation is, I'm grateful for this job or anything better. So if you just say that every day when you come into work, no matter what your work circumstances is, I'm grateful for this job or anything better. That kind of tells the universe that you're really grateful, you're happy that you have what you have, but you are open to receiving something, and maybe it's a job that you wouldn't have even thought of, and you can start paying attention to maybe people start telling you about some random job and you've never even heard of it. Maybe that's when you look into it and start seeing what the universe can give you. So that's all I have to say about that, other than hang in there. I know it can be challenging, but if you can shift your mindset, I think you'd be really surprised. Generally, when an employee is unhappy with their job, the manager and the company and your coworkers know it too. So if you can shift, it kind of shifts everyone else's energy around you. And but if you're truly in a position where you do everything you can and you lighten up your workspace and you have your energetic boundaries and it's just time to go, then really I suggest you look at how to manifest your dream job because, like I said, there's no reason you have to leave for less. I offer intuitive coaching. If you need extra help, you can find that on my Work With Me tab.